Yeah, no, I
definitely.
don't blame you, man.
Yeah, I mean, I want people to actually be able to get their opinion across and be heard on my show. I'm not trying to be like, well, that was that. Let's keep going. You have to do that. I want my sound quality to be higher. I'm trying to put everything to a higher standard because I want my listeners to enjoy being able to hear what our people are saying. You know, and that's probably the biggest challenge I've encountered podcasting because every single episode there's always somebody that does it. And I've been dealing with this on two shows for about what are we at on Fairy Tale now? We're at episode 29. We're about to record 30. I mean, that's 160 plus episodes of having to deal with all of that and people moving around. Like you don't think about it when you're sitting here doing this and you're moving around and
Yeah,
shuffling and
I
messing with
have to
stuff. You
tell people
hear
to be
that all the
quiet
time.
too.
Yeah, you hear that all the time, and that's why I'm one of those staunch people, and I'm not trying to be mean about it. But when I say, look, guys, can you, if you're not talking, could you put yourself on mute? That way, the person that's talking could be heard. It's a respect thing. You want that person to be heard, their opinions to get across, and that's more annoying than when people when they ramble off topic and especially I've got some very ADD and ADHD people on my crew that like to go off of topic, and unfortunately, I'm also guilty of that. But I mean, at the same time, that's less irritating than all the random shuffling and background noise and stuff because it really can kill a
Hmm.
podcast very quickly. You
Yes.
don't think about it, but you have to be very professional with this. And unfortunately, I don't have a sound studio I can just bring everybody into and we can just go. If we did, I think we'd be not only a heck of a lot more popular, but we'd be able to do a heck of a lot more stuff. So, uh, sorry, I took up that question, but mm,
No,
it was
no,
supposed to be. It was supposed to be some of my favorite stuff. Memorable moments. Get back to the question. See what I'm saying about rambling? Yeah, and how I'm guilty? Totally. Um,
yes, yes. I wanted some rambling on this.
all right. One of our most memorable moments, I think, was our first panel ever at Anime Week in Atlanta. We had like, what was it? We had like 250 people in a small room, and they all came and checked us out. And it was like almost nobody left. They had so much fun. We had a blast there. It was great. Um, and it was our first panel ever, and I was so surprised because we'd only been going for like since March to September, so it was like maybe 8 months, something like that. Like we weren't very well known, and then coming back this year, it was crazy. So episode 100 probably my most memorable because we had these epic interviews with Tara Platt, Yuri Lowenthal, and 1,000 Pounds Fight Team. We had shout outs from Lil Karibo and Mazako X to start off the show. Uh, uh, a 5 minute intro that was like something you'll never ever hear again. And it's no longer up on iTunes because I had to take it off of the old feed to post new episodes, but it should be up on the new feed within a month or two, so you should be able to hear it again. But it's up on YouTube, so you guys can definitely
Yeah.
check that. But 100, yeah, definitely the burping episode. So much craziness. What about you, Sasori?
For me, well, there's a whole bunch of memorable moments from Kona Corner and a few from my new podcast. From Kona Corner, it has to be when I first joined, and then some others were when Naruto joined, when Orochimaru joined, we were recording episode 69. That was awesome. There are some other memorable moments in Kona Corner, but I kind of have to wrap it up.
One
But
and two.
from my podcast, the Blue Exorcist podcast, I'd have to say when Shiemi and Rin, which are Naruto and Kakashi from the Naruto podcast, are bickering because Shiemi has poop on her hand, and she's like, "Poop hand," and he's like, "No poop, poop hand, no, 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 get that hand away from me!" And they're like bickering, and it was so funny. Um, the bad memorable, there's only one moment when and that was recording. That was like happened Thursday when it didn't record at all.
3 hours of recording that did not record.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is really frustrating, and I've encountered that several times too. And it's just as frustrating to the rest of the crew as it is to the person that was recording, because you did all this work and it's just gone, and you know you're not going to get the same quality if you try to do it again. So, as you're seeing, obviously. So, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot to that. I would say for Fairy Tale, probably my most memorable is I think it's episode 19, which was the Halloween episode, because of just how much fun I had putting together the special Halloween opening. It was so much fun. Uh, I was so excited about it. I'm sitting there grabbing people up in the crew. Hey, listen to this. Hey, listen to this. This is really cool. And yeah, that's kind of how that goes. There's been a lot of cool moments on Fairy Tale, but yeah. I'm sorry, I'm trying to rush so Sasori has time.
Mm-hmm.
It keeps being these like random background noises.
Yeah, I hear them too. I guess Sasori has to go now.
That's an alarm.
No, that's an alarm going off. She's doing that.
It's my sister's alarm. I'm waiting for her to turn it off.
Yeah, Gaara, you are Natsu Dragneel for the Fairy Tale podcast.
Yeah,
Definitely. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Fairy Tale podcast. Yeah, sure. It basically started because Sai and I were sitting, we're basically on Skype calls, and we were running around talking about Fairy Tale. We were reading the manga practically at the same time online, and we were just sitting there going back and forth talking about all these characters and how exciting the new plot line was, or the progression of the story arc in the next chapter that came out, and just how much we loved all of these characters, and how we thought it was really, really doing. Excuse me.
Alright,
Hey, Sasori,
Yeah?
I sneezed. What do you say?
That's it.
Thank you. Yeah, we changed it up. We don't say bless you, we say desu. So, it's just one of those weird random things that comes up on Konoha Corner. But no, we were sitting there talking back and forth about Fairy Tale, and we were like, you know what, why the hell not start another podcast and make it about Fairy Tale, because this is a series that we love. We definitely got a lot to say about it. I mean, we could do the same thing, and that's kind of how I got started. And slowly over time, we started off with kind of a Konoha Corner-esque way of doing it. Like, we did we had like the manga recap, the news, but we stuck specifically with Fairy Tale related stuff because we do enough anime news on Konoha Corner anyway. And so we're like, if you want to hear about all the anime news, listen to Konoha Corner. But we do like Fairy Tale relatable news. We'd already talked to several of the people, so getting interviews is a lot easier with Fairy Tale because it's a newer product, I guess, and they want to push it. But the way that we really started separating from Konoha Corner with Fairy Tale was around episode 6, when we started introducing our new segments, like Charles' Magical Education, where she teaches you about a different character and what type of magic they use and how they fit into this world. And she does that every week. And then we have one of my favorite things, Cooking with Elfman, where he teaches you how to make a different thing each week. At one point in time, we were making Reptar bars. He actually gave you the list of ingredients to make the Reptar bars from the Rugrats series, and that was really fun. We had a lot of fun with that. We loved it. And then we've got. I heard that, so sorry.
Sorry.
Tell your tummy be quiet, even though I know it's not your tummy. It was just funny. It sounded so funny. I had to comment. And then we've got Ritas' Gallery, which is fan art, and we do one fan art piece a week. And Lisana/Tamari is on charge from that. We run it kind of the same way, but we're a little more serious. We're not as zany as we are on Konoha Corner. We're a little more composed. Not to say that we're like very serious, we're still goofy. It's just we rein our craziness in a little bit more than we do on Naruto. Um, and and I think that kind of adds to the quality of Fairy Tail. It definitely makes it easier for me because when we record for Fairy Tail, I'm not stressed like crazy all the time because we have a clear cut thing that we want to do. With Konoha Quarter, even though we kind of do know what we're supposed to do, everybody's just kind of like all over the place, and yeah, craziness ensues.
Hmm.
Stay tuned to find out if Gaara loses his sanity. But
Obi.
I've still got a headache from last night's Toby's Tales. It was bad. All you heard was, but instead of it being my fist, it was my head banging on the desk. So
Why
very funny.
banging?
Because Toby is Toby, and
Yeah.
Toby's tales were worthy of it. Anyway, so I mean, with Fairy Tail, there's a lot more love that goes into it. We've added another segment, which is bartending with Loki, and Loki is actually Toby from Konoha Corner. So what's really funny? Well, he doesn't have the Toby personality on Fairy Tail. He's a lot calmer, more serious, and he's just a flirt, and that's what makes it interesting. Is like now we've only done 2 episodes to it. And he's slowly kind of finding it. I think by the 4th episode, he'll have found his niche where he needs to go. But basically, kind of the direction we're giving him for this is we want him to basically be hitting on a girl and telling her how he made the drink at the same time. So it's kind of like, how do you educate a person on how to make this particular drink while flirting? So we're going to try and find the balance for that and see if we can work it. It's going to be pretty fun.
That looks like it was going to be fun.
Oh, yeah. We're having a good time working with this, but there's also other projects that we're working on at the same time. We're hoping to release more outtakes soon because I've got a library of outtakes on my computer. It's crazy. Like this shelf cannot contain the amount of outtakes that we have. Also, Toby and I are working together on the script for a bridge series for High School of the Dead. And we're hoping to do casting calls for that by next month, and then start recording. And then we're hoping to see if we can get in contact with a team of video editors to try and get the video edited up. But we're trying to see if we can get Little Karibo, Masako X, and Takahata 101, and Purple Eyes WTF to kind of read it over and look at it and see if they can offer us some advice. Not to change the whole script, but to just kind of let us know, oh, this may not work, that, you might have to tweak this. Just small stuff like that.
It's better to get advice from professionals about doing
Right,
this.
exactly. It's kind of how we started with Konoha Corner. I got advice from the One Piece podcast and from Doctor, and then from there on, I went through and just kind of I think I kind of needed that advice because it definitely gave me a different idea about how to podcast. And I think I should just start copying and pasting that to any person that I have on the show that's new and just be like, boom, these are the things that they told me about when I first started. These are things that you need to know. I think if ever I was to do that, because I have people that have started up their own shows that send me the files to listen to and stuff like that, so I have to critique people now.
The random review, I'm going to say right now, is an indirect result of listening to the Konoha Corner.
Oh,
it's an indirect result, so you're part of the reason. The other part is I got a bug up my butt.
Well, I mean, and I really appreciate that. I'm glad that we can get people out there to create new medium. It's kind of how a lot of the other podcasts ended up getting started, and I'm happy to be part of this giant growing community that's going on right now. Take care, Sasori. She has to go. I don't know why, but she has to go because she didn't tell me.
I'm sorry. It's kind of like last minute.
Last minute. You guys knew we had to do this.
I know.
I'm the only one going to be on now. Leave me alone!
Dude, would you still want the audio then?